The new name that had bled up through his father's ledger, in fresh, wet ink he had never written, was Mama. His own mother, the last family he had left in this whole world, and the last day of the month was already coming for her. There was only one way to take a name off the list. He had heard it twice now. To erase a single name, you must write another one in its place. And so Daniel, the gentle man who once chased a stranger down the road to return his extra change, sat at a table with a pen heavy in his hand, and was asked to choose a living human being to die in his mother's place. In the next room, his mother knelt and prayed, thanking God for her good son and his great blessings. She had no idea, none at all. He could not do it. He could not sit and write a stranger's name and send them to the grave. But neither could he fold his hands and bury his own mother. There was no door out of this room. There was no clean way through, so he went back, one last time up the long dark road, through the gate that opened on its own to the man in the room of 1,000 candles. But this time Daniel looked at him properly, slowly, and he saw something he had been far too afraid to see before. The man's hands trembled just slightly where they rested on the table. Behind all that practiced calm there was a deep and ancient exhaustion. The serenity, Daniel realized, was only a mask, and it was worn very thin. "Who are you?" Daniel asked him. "Who are you really?" And for the very first time, the man's cold smile slipped from his face. And he told Daniel the truth. He had been a young man once. Poor, desperate, with someone he loved dying right in front of him. He had walked up this same dark road to a man seated in the same room, and he had written a name to save the one he loved. And then he had never stopped. Name after name, year after year, life after quiet life, decade after decade, anything at all to hold on to the wealth and the power that one terrible night had bought him. "The curse does not end," the man said softly. "It is never broken. It can only ever be passed from one hand to the next. I am not the devil," he said. "I am only the last desperate man who could not say no, exactly as you are about to be." And there it was, the offer beneath the offer. Write a stranger's name. Keep the money, keep the power. Let your mother live another day. And one day, when you are old and tired, find your own desperate young man at your gate and pass it all to him and finally rest. Or he could refuse. And stand there and watch it take his mother on the last day of the month. And then come for him. And then for everyone he might ever have loved or protected after her. Daniel walked home carrying the weight of the whole world. And there, waiting for him in the dark of his room, he found Tony. But Tony was dying now. The thing he had fed for so many long years had finally turned and come to collect him too. He was thin and gray and fading fast before Daniel's eyes. And yet somehow, Tony was at peace. He had stopped feeding it. He had chosen to let it take only him and no one else. "No more names. Listen to me," Tony whispered, gripping his hand. "There's a third choice, one they never tell you, the one they pray you will never find. A name can be the last name on the list. The debt can truly be ended, but only if the name you write is freely, willingly your own. A debt paid in full," Tony breathed, "by the only person who ever truly owed it in the first place." Then he smiled, a real smile, the first in years. He closed his eyes, and he was gone, free at last. The last day of the month. Deep night. In the next room his mother prayed on, her soft voice carrying through the thin wall. Daniel sat alone at the table, the open ledger, the waiting pen, the white cowrie shell, and the mark now spread black all the way to his elbow. He thought of his father who had written a stranger's name to save his son and damned that very same son in the same breath. He thought of all the names that had already been spent for him. The kind old neighbor, the classmate, the uncle, and Sarah, his Sarah. All of them gone, quietly, just to keep him breathing one more month. He could write a stranger's name right now. His mother would open her eyes tomorrow. He would be rich and safe and damned forever, or he could end it. Here, tonight, pay the whole debt in full with the only name it had ever truly been owed. His mother's prayer rose gently through the wall. Daniel lifted the pen. And this time his hand did not shake at all. He wrote a single name, his own name. The mark on his arm went suddenly still, then began to fade. The candles guttered out one by one. The debt was paid in full, the long and bloody line was ended, and Daniel died that night with empty pockets and a clean soul, poor and finally free. But far across the city, an iron gate swings open in the dark. And a new young man walks up a long drive, an eviction notice crushed in his fist, toward a chair already turning to receive him. The loan you never repay with money is always looking for a new borrower.